Hey guys, Savage Joy here with Real Progressive. So this is kind of, I don't want to say a last minute idea, but you know how like Facebook is really good about, um, you know, tuning in and telling you, hey, look, 1 year ago today, this happened. And so thankfully, it reminded me that 2 years ago, yesterday, is my RP anniversary. So exactly 2 years ago, I did my first show, which is insane because it feels like I've been doing it forever, but and the same time, it's like every episode is so different, so it feels new each time. Um, and I still have, guests who make me nervous or, complications or, you know, um, sometimes I have to deal with people who aren't that great behind the scenes, things like that. So I mean, the amount of things I've learned is just off the scale. Um, Before I started doing this, I mean, now I've interviewed over 120 candidates from across the country. I think that's what taught me the most, because I didn't realize that in, in all of these states, every single one is different with how you vote, with when you vote, with, every single state is completely different. Um, like we were talking about the jungle primary today on Twitter. That's, in California, they take the top two. Well, in Washington state as well, they take the top two people regardless of party, and they run against each other in the general, which is quite advantageous for progressives or greens or independents, because you don't just have that like one opportunity where it's like one Dem, one Republican, period. Um, so like I digress, but I'm having a three-way debate on the 17th of August. It's going to be all three Democratic candidates running against Pelosi. So you guys are not going to want to miss this shit. So it's a woman named Agatha, a gentleman named Tom, and then most of you guys know Shahid Buttar, rather. I know a lot of people say Shahid, but it is Shahid. I watched his promo video. But anyhow, so there's three of them running against Nancy. So somebody said, okay, cool. So we'll have two Dems regardless. No, because there's also a Republican running. But Nancy's a Republican too. So having a Dem is just not good enough. It's not. We want progressives. So that's the point of this debate. You're going to have three people running for the exact same position against the person who needs to get the fuck out, like desperately needs to get out. And we're going to be able to, weigh the pros and cons and see which one essentially progressives should unite behind. Because what happened was in 2018, I endorsed and had Stephen Jaffe on my show twice and three times, and I adore him. I love him to pieces. But the problem is there were a number of progressives running, and it split the votes. Thus, a Republican, besides Nancy, went up against Nancy. So you did have the one Dem, one Republican. And that's because there were a number of progressives. This one got 10%, this one got 20%, this one got 15%, and so on. And that's how that happened. So I'm hoping that this debate can kind of, help fuel people into deciding which one is best for the movement and which one would be the best one to unify, with, to take her the hell out. She, the one thing that's great about the whole Pelosi situation, though, is the fact that it's really great watching resistors who, are tried to rationalize everything she did for years, and it's like, yes, queen, everything's yes, queen. And, but then when it comes down to it, everyone's obsessed with her impeaching him, and she's defiantly not doing it. So they're obsessed with his impeachment, and they're obsessed with her. So they're kind of like, I don't know who to be mad at. So it's kind of fun watching that, because they don't, I mean, they obey. They don't, they don't know what they're supposed to do now. So in any case, that has been enjoyable. Yes, I heard she met with AOC today. I'm kind of curious what went on back there, but I don't think AOC is as much of a badass as people think. As much as people think she is. She is on the, the floor. She is in front of microphones. But Pelosi has always had this strange kind of hold on her. And she has capitulated to her. So, I mean, it's, I don't know. I don't anticipate her going in there and being like, look, you're racist, you're a bitch. Like, no, I don't see that at all. So, I mean, she's definitely a different person in front of cameras. I've interviewed her. I've met her behind cameras. I was an opening speaker at an event she was a speaker at. So I've met her, I've interviewed her. She's just different in front of camera. And that's not saying I don't like her, and that's not saying she's fake. I'm just saying she has more confidence in front of people. I did see Kimmel last night. Oh my God. When he showed Bernie that shirt, I lost it. Bernie's face and his laugh, it's everything good in the world. Like, literally, his smile and his laugh is just incredible. And then he was explaining why they had a hat with a bird on it. He's like, do you know what that's for? A bird came down. And it's like, who doesn't know that story? But he was like really fascinated by it. And it was so cute. Oh, can you guys see? Maybe, no, possibly. Anyway, I have a birdie tattoo that says revolution. So that's my Bernie birdie, inspired by that moment. So, but anyway, so yeah, that was a really cute interview. I never know, some of those hosts like Colbert, whatever, and people like that, like, when they go on these shows, they have no actual political knowledge. So apparently Jimmy's actually an activist for Medicare for All and things like that. So I have respect for that. And you could tell by the way he was talking to Byrne that he was understanding, not just, actually, oh, okay. Like he got it. He understood what Bernie was saying. So I really appreciated that as well. He's obviously an intelligent guy. So, the one thing that I really love about doing my show now is that in 2016, I didn't have it. And my Facebook posts would amount to, I don't know, maybe like 3 likes. I would just rant and it would feel good to get it out. but I'm like, I'm reaching like nobody. The reason why I actually got this show is because I did a oh no, Trevor Noah's a total shill. He's awful. Yeah, he's awful. Crystal, you are right. That's exactly what I was thinking of. I think Jimmy kind of likes Bernie because of what his son went through medically. Absolutely, I was thinking that. Sorry, guys, I get distracted sometimes. So, you know, in 2016, I made this video on the night our campaign office closed. I'm in Pennsylvania, and it was like 2 days, it was the Saturday after our Tuesday primary. And we were packing up everything, and, you know, and excuse me. And it was so sad because it was like, that became my second home. I worked full time and went to school and put in at least 20 hours a week for the campaign. So I was like living there. I would, you know, we would just eat there and sleep there. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, that was our second home. So I mean, that last night was just heart-wrenching. It was absolutely devastating. We had people there helping us from California. We had people helping us from Michigan. People who have never been to Pennsylvania in their entire lives were literally coming to Pennsylvania to help our office. That's insane. So, you know, we connected with these people and we love these people and we shared this campaigning experience together. And then our campaign was over because Philadelphia or Pennsylvania had already voted. So all of a sudden it's, you know, everybody's going home, and it was heartbreaking. So in any case, I made a video about how hard it was to leave the campaign office as we, you know, packed the last boxes. And I was very emotional in it. It was maybe 2.5 minutes at most. It was under 3 minutes. I know that much. And I was emotional, and I was saying that, you know, it was, I've never been part of a movement. I have never connected with people like that and felt like they're family. I've never been politically active. I've never campaigned for anyone. I was never an activist. Like, all these things started in 2015 for me. Like so many others, Bernie, you know, planted that seed. And, you know, I started thinking about all of this, and I just got very emotional. So it was like a 2.5 minute video of just me, you know, saying how much I would miss everyone. And it literally was like just something I made for them because I didn't want to type it. It seemed too impersonal to be like on Facebook, I'm going to miss you guys. Like, I wanted to like, so anyway, that was the first video I ever made. And I wake up the next day and it's freaking viral. Like, it is literally viral. It's blowing up. It's in every freaking Bernie Facebook group. It's on Twitter. It's everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I was used to getting like maybe 6 likes on my post. I had less than 200 Facebook friends. I had like, you know, I didn't know anyone. So the fact that it was blowing up was just so weird and so unexpected. So anyway, so Steve Grumbine actually saw my show. And we had met in person because we live maybe a half hour away from each other. I organized a Bernie March in Harrisburg, and he showed up. So when he saw my video, he's like, Joy, I want you on Real Progressives. And I was like, no, I I'm not good in front of the camera. That was like a one-time deal. I don't know what I'm doing, and I was too emotional. This is uncomfortable. It's invasive. He's like, no, Joy, you have to do more. They resonate with people. People are connecting with it. And I was just, no, like, no, I don't have the confidence. No way. So I just like put it off for like months. And he just kind of kept, you really should, and one day I just said, you know what, fuck it. And I relented, and I did a show, and it was 2 years ago yesterday. My first five shows were about my time at Occupy DNC, which is when thousands of us protested the convention. So those were my first five shows. Speaking about the anniversary of that, because we were there now. And so I was talking about, we marched 8 miles a day in over 100-degree heat. We had sniper rifles pointed at us from the roof of the convention, because we're very violent, apparently. They had a huge miles and miles of fence keeping us out of the parking lot. Like, they were scared if we got in the parking lot, we'd like get inside and like try to hug Bernie or something. It was like that intense. But at the same time, people were like, having signs that say, build bridges, not walls. And we're like, dude, you have a fucking wall. Like, we couldn't even get past the fence to go in a porta pot. Like, they literally had security checkpoints like every 5 seconds. It was just gross. Like, this is what we were doing when we were marching. There was it's FDR Park, coincidentally, and we were sitting on the grass in on a blanket in our bare feet, like hugging each other and meeting each other for people we had talked to online for the past year and a half. We were meeting them in person because they were there from all over the country. I even met a kid from Germany. I met women from Haiti who were protesting Hillary. It was just thousands of people that you felt like you already knew. It was incredible. It was also one of the most painful weeks of many of our lives. I call it Occupy DNC PTSD, because sometimes it's almost like I get flashbacks of like just how hurtful it was and how painful it was and how enraging it was to see all of that firsthand, all of that shit going down. So anyway, we would literally be sitting, on the grass. They had 2 huge movie screens set up on a stage, like movie screens to the point that they were like, probably 3 times the size of a theater, and there was one on each side of the stage, and they were showing everything going on in the convention while showing videos in the middle. So there were several screens, so we knew what was going on the whole time. And then we also saw like documentaries on voter fraud and things like that at the same time. So anyway, so that's what we're doing. We're sitting on the lawn watching documentaries. All of a sudden, guy I'm sitting by goes, holy shit. I look up, and there's got to be at least 20 snipers on the fucking roof pointed down at us. Like, not me particularly, but like all of us, like, in our bare feet and tank tops just completely drained because we're like walking 8 miles a day in 100 degrees, and they're pointing sniper rifles at us. It was so surreal. It was just incredible. Like, who do you think we are? Dude, we want the candidate who is peaceful. We want the candidate who's not a warmonger. We want the candidate who says words like love and, compassion. And you think we're going to come there with like, freaking guns and shit. Like, what? And, they had thousands of police, thousands. They shipped them in from New York, from New Jersey, from all over. And you could not walk one step without seeing at least 5 cops. I mean, it was just everywhere. I have pictures where you literally see nothing but cops for like miles. They would all barricade, like they would all stand there in front of the fence. I'm like, why do you guys even have a fence? You're lining the fence. And, I gotta say though, the ones I dealt with were very nice. A lot of them were like, yeah, good for you. We support Bernie. He loves unions and stuff. Like, a lot of them were very nice. And one of them grabbed my friend's guitar and started playing with them, which was pretty great. My one concern was, oh my God, like, it really only, takes one cop to be a total, just complete piece of shit, and everything's going to go chaotic, because activists don't put up with that. So people kind of had that, apprehension at some points. And I think over the 6 days, I think it was like 110 arrests or something, but it was nothing big. It was all like people trying to climb the fence, to just see if they could get in, I mean, like, we're there, we want to get inside, we want to tell them to fuck off. Like, we were getting texts from delegates inside who were like, holy shit, look at this, I just got pushed, look at this, they just ripped the sign out of my hand, ripped it up, stomped on it, and said fuck Bernie. They had the pictures of the clearly anti-Semitic Bernie t-shirt for sale in there. They're sending us all this stuff, and they're sending us, pictures of totally empty sections for where Hillary people were supposed to be. I mean, just empty, no one sitting there. And, they're sending us all this stuff. We found a screenshot on Craigslist where Hillary's campaign was literally looking to pay $100 for seat fillers, because by that time, so many of the Bernie delegates just said, fuck you, and walked out. So they were literally paying $100 for seat fillers. They said that, I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm getting in there. And it's not going to be pretty. And if I'm arrested, so be it. I don't give a fuck. So then when I answered it, and they said, you need to wear Hillary shirts and wave Hillary signs. And I thought, oh man, they're going to take one look at me, and there's no fucking way they're going to believe I'm a Hillary supporter. There's just no way. No way. Never mind that I had, like, my Bernie tattoo hanging out, all my Bernie buttons. And I'm like trying to think about how I can do this logistically. Like, how can I try and convince them? And then I was like, I think too many people know who I am. This isn't going to work. So anyway, I didn't, get to do that. I didn't get in. But, it was things like that just spoke volumes, because if I wasn't there, I wouldn't know these things. I saw this shit firsthand. I got spit on by a Hillary supporter. I literally got spit on, and told, I hope you go fucking kill yourself, you Bernie bro. Why? I was walking to get a water. So I guess that was what I did. That was messed up. It was ugly. It was really, really ugly. I don't think there was one delegate we had, guy or girl, who wasn't, sobbing at least one point. It was bad. I remember sitting down with my friend who came from Portland, and we were sitting at a table outside. just having some water and, you know, taking a break. And so we're sitting there, and this woman comes up to us, and she had on the lanyard, so we knew that she was, you know, she was in a lanyard and in the lime yellow delegate tee. So we knew she was like one of us. But anyway, so I couldn't resist. So she comes over and sits with us, and she starts bawling, like absolutely bawling. I didn't know why, but I just started crying too, because she was in pain. I didn't know what it was. But she was saying how that she's in California. She's a delegate. She worked for the campaign. She busted her ass. She did all this shit for months on end. And then she went to vote, and she was one of the ones that was purged. I cannot fathom that. Like, not just being purged, but being a delegate, working for the campaign, volunteering your ass off, giving months of your time, and then not being able to cast the vote of the person you did it all for. I just got goosebumps. My heart just fucking broke for her. You know, it was awful. It was absolutely awful. And these are the kind of, you know, of stories we just heard all week. These, you know, and they were all different states and all different counties and things like that. And it was, you know, it was eye-opening, because so many of us thought, oh, the DNC, the DNC. Well, I've learned a lot, and it's not just the DNC. Unfortunately, pretty much every candidate who comes on here tells me shit they've witnessed in their own local or state, you know, Dem, you know, meetings and things like that. So it was excruciating listening to people, you know. They were doing things like, you know, this was so obviously for Hillary. So they told the delegates, we had over 2,000 delegates. I think it was 2,100 and change. Now the delegates, they tell Bernie's delegates and Hillary's delegates, you must come to Philly and stay in this hotel. If you don't stay in that hotel, your vote will not be counted, because we may just give you guys all a text in the morning and say, get down here on floor 2 and in the conference room, and we're going to have a roll call. So they said those things were going to happen. So, like, people literally had no choice but to stay there. What are you going to do? Go all the way there and not have your vote counted? So, yeah, so they went. So this room, I am not shitting you. I used to live in Philly. I'm in Harrisburg area now. This room was like over $500 a night. So it got to the point that delegates were splitting one single room with one single bed for 6 people. That's how bad it was. So you're talking, I mean, these people are just, they're doing that on purpose, because they know we're all basement dwellers and we can't afford shit like that. And even if we could, we don't want to spend money on that crap. That was Debbie Wasserman Schill at that time. She actually was forced to resign while we were marching. We all got texts and we were like going crazy. That was beautiful. Beautiful. But then an hour later, Hillary was like, oh yeah, she's going to be my 50-state strategist. Yeah, fuck you. You really cared about that corruption, didn't you? Sorry. Anyway, so they set it up so that these people not only had to raise money to fly out to Philly, because many of them were, you know, we had delegates in every single state. So they had to raise money to get their plane tickets and food and a ridiculously overpriced hotel. So each delegate needed minimum over $3,000 minimum. So I gave $27 to 27 delegates, and by the time I did that and donated, like, I think it was like 2,000 or something to Bernie, I was maxed because they added that to his donations because of some technicality, so you couldn't give more than 2,700. I'm not sure exactly how that worked, but they did lump it together. So I was like, it broke my heart because I didn't have it, but I still would have done something, because the worst thing would have been if people could not afford to go out there. We would not have gotten their vote. And we needed all the delegates. We had over 2,100 delegates. So it was heartbreaking. It was sad. I think, I don't know if I've ever screamed like when I heard him say those words. I literally was just like, I give up on everything. I give up. Like, what the fuck's the point? We're doing all this shit. Like, I just had a huge breakdown because I was thinking, okay, I finally got politically active. I'm 40 now, so I was in my late 30s. Finally got politically active, and this is what's going to happen. Every single door I knocked on didn't matter. Every phone call I made didn't matter. Every dollar I donated didn't matter. All of these things did not matter because we had no chance of winning from the beginning. It was already written in stone. That was it. So that the knowing for a fact, for a final time, that is the truth. We did all that, and we never had a chance. So all of us sitting there, and it's sinking in, and I'm gonna cry if I talk about it, but someone else just mentioned it. You see a standing ovation of over 3 minutes, and whew, I'm gonna cry. Watching that on the big screen was probably one of the most painful moments of our lives. It was in that moment that you really understood just how loved he is. Like, even if he wasn't your choice per se, or or you disagree with things, which I do, people around him, you cannot find photos of people standing by him who aren't like he just makes people so happy, just because he's this grumpy grandpa, and he's sarcastic and mad, and he's a beautiful fucking person. And it was not just him losing, it was the fact that we knew that there was a damn good chance Trump was going to win. We knew. And we also knew that even if Trump didn't win, we'd be stuck with Hillary, which also sucks. So, it's like those signs, we'd be at brunch. Yeah, that's the fucking problem. So at least one thing Trump did for us is inadvertently wake us up. Because you ask so many people, especially online, when they started becoming a resistor, it was November 9th, 2016. A lot of us started in 2015 when Bernie first announced. A lot of us started even before that. Some of us started in the Vietnam War. It goes back. There's a mixture of people. But I do, I've even asked people when I've gone to events and filmed it. I've even said, Would you be here if Donald Trump was not president? No. They straight up tell me, honestly, no. And then I say, did you ever do anything like this before Trump won? No. So this is what's going to happen. Bernie gets rigged again. He doesn't win this time. What's going to happen is we went through all this Trump shit for nothing, absolutely nothing, because they're going to instill, fucking Warren or Kamala or one of the other centrist neolibs, and not a damn thing is going to change. So all of this was for nothing. We have one more chance. We have a second chance. And it is our responsibility, it's our duty as progressives to fight hard to get the person who actually means what they say, who's actually fought for these things for decades. I mean, this man literally has fought for decades for Medicare for all, for fighting climate change, for money out of politics, for against private prisons. I mean, a federal job guarantee. Like, this man, you can Google on YouTube anything and he'll come up with 20 videos. So I want the OG, because if you had two choices in 2016 and you decided to go with the person who called these things ponies and pie in the sky, and now all of a sudden you're copying his platform, you can go fuck off, because I don't believe a damn thing you're saying. F that. I can see right through that shit. And I hope more people start seeing through it too, because it does get very, disheartening when you see people who are like, Bernie Warren ticket and so, like, no. If he asked her to be VP, my heart would break in a million pieces. It would break. So many reasons. But I think so many people are, they're like regressing from what we've fought for this shit for 4 years. Bernie was robbed. We got screwed over. We ended up with Trump because of it, and now all of a sudden you're willing to settle for Warren? Warren, are you serious? The one who couldn't even endorse Bernie, the one who ignored Standing Rock, the one who voted 2 times for Trump's $717 billion war budget, the one who just came out with a plan to lower rent costs 10% in 10 years, the one who won't say she's anti-war because she wants to make the bombs more green, the one who was a Republican for more than 2/3 of her life. I could go on, and standing for never be a socialist country, and standing and clapping and smiling for Trump, you're automatically canceled. You're canceled. You just stood up and clapped for a fascist. Period. Capitalist to your bones. Good for you. You still clapped and stood up and smiled for a damn fascist. That's gross. So giving into Warren is, what the hell's the difference between, giving into her, giving into Hillary? Warren, I'm telling you, oh my God, and that video came out today. The article came out today. I don't know if you guys saw it. Article came out about how Warren admitted that she was supposed to be a top pick for Hillary's VP. And they had a plan before Bernie even got in the race that they were going to work together. So that being said, she was still duping people like she was some kind of progressive taking on Wall Street. And behind the scenes, she was already working with Hillary. This is the thing. Like, it's disgusting. People will say, oh, she's tough on one. she's taking their money. You're not, you can point fingers all you want, but if you're taking shady money, you don't mean nothing. Like, even there was an article last week that came out that was like, Wall Street is less and less fearful of Warren. Yeah, no shit, because they know. She straight up said, in the general, she straight up said Republicans are going to be taking dark money and PAC money and all this stuff, and we have to go head to head. All bets are off. Everything's off the table. Same rules apply. She literally said she will take dark money, PAC money, all that shit. Last year alone, for her senatorial run, she took Raytheon, she took AT&T, she took Comcast, she took healthcare insurance, she took banks. No, that was last year. I want to know what your epiphany was. That's what I want to know. I want to know what takes you from standing on stage in matching pantsuits with someone who has done nothing but make our lives living hells, to copying the exact person who you disrespected. I want to know what changed your mind within a few months. So, I mean, I wish more people would see through her. I cannot stand her. She makes me ill. That's what I was going to get to. So anyway, so the article came out today stating that, and, she admitted it. Now, here's my concern. After Warren announced, she met with Hillary. This is documented. Okay, why? I don't know. It's kind of curious. Second, Warren has met with Cap numerous times. Cap is nearest Handon, who is Hillary. She's met with them multiple times. Okay, so other fact. Warren hired all of Hillary's 2016 campaign staff. Okay, so you have all these links to Hillary. This comes out today. And then you think, okay, well, as much as Hillary is like, it's my turn, and woman, and all that shit, you gotta think, there is not a damn way that this bitch will let another woman become president unless she's involved somehow. So I'm thinking, like, Warren gets the nom. I'm telling you, there's 100% chance she has Hillary on her as VP, chief of staff. I don't give a shit. She's somewhere in there. I'm telling you. Like, I feel it. I know it. And all these people are just going to be like, oh my God, I thought she was progressive. Also, here's another thing. Kamala's niece posted a picture last month on Twitter. It was a picture of Warren and Kamala, like smiled and cuddly, and it was fucking gross. And she put in the caption, I can see these two working together and blah blah blah. My aunt loves her, like all this shit. And I'm like, okay, I can see that. I could see Kamala and Warren running together. Absolutely. What's gonna happen is, if she wins in the general, she'll announce her VP and all this shit, and all these people who were totally duped are going to be like, I thought she was progressive. Open your eyes. She's not. A good SOS. I've thought about this a lot. I know a lot of people want Tulsi as VP. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with it. But my dream team is Burn and Turn 2020. That's my team. That's who, that's the, and I told Miss Nina that the last time I met up with her. I said, just so you know, Burn and Turn 2020, let him know. And she's like, Burn and Turn? I said, yep, burn and turn. So that's my team. Burn and turn 2020. SOS I would then give to Tulsi. Yeah, I have my concerns with Tulsi. I do. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, if Bernie wasn't in the race, she'd be my second. I mean, there's not really. I mean, besides Gravel, obviously, but there's. I mean, who else do you have? She did vote against that. Absolutely. That's why I definitely have some problems with her. Now, the thing with Tulsi that is, I don't like to attack her or even provide receipts with things because I have a lot more receipts than people even know about. And because people send me shit on the down low all the time. But here's the thing. There is a chance that she will drop and endorse Bernie and then be VP or something. I don't want to give out all kinds of receipts of all this stuff I don't like and then have it come back to bite Bernie in the ass. So I'm going to keep it real. That's why I don't usually, and quite honestly, Tulsi fans are just kind of you can't even say her name without, it's crazy. The one thing I typically say if someone says, why Bernie and not Tulsi, the easiest way I say it is, look, he's been fighting for us longer than she's been alive. Period. Fact. Nothing to get defensive about. It's literally a fact. I mean, yeah, Bernie and Nina would just be, oh my God, that shit would be amazing. Dude, Nina's getting badass more and more by the day. Her videos, oh my God, her videos. Bernie's getting more savage by the day. It's just, we're doing so many things differently this time, and it's just so freaking awesome. I'm so proud that he has listened to us. It seems like every freaking thing we've complained about to him, he's improved on. We complained he never talked about his personal life. First rally in New York, he talks about his family in the Holocaust and growing up poor. He also, we said he had too many white people on his staff. Okay, now he has 70% people of color. He has the first ever Muslim campaign manager in presidential history. We said that he didn't focus enough on foreign policy. All of a sudden, he's gotten so much better. So much better. Still disagree with him on some things, but better for sure. He talks all the time about inequality. However, he didn't talk about the racial inequality within the inequality. Now he always talks about that. He didn't talk about farming. Now when he goes to Iowa and places like that, he makes a huge speech about factory farming. He didn't personalize his rallies as much. He didn't, talk about specific situations to them. Now he is. He's going to certain cities, looking up these things, and then, actually reaching out and talking to them. I know in this town this is going on, and I know in this city people are suffering from this. It's just, I'm just so proud of how far they've come. It's really been awesome. Anyone here who hasn't done their MMT? Yes, definitely. If you want any kind of MMT information, Green New Deal, federal job guarantee, all that, definitely check out our Real Progressives website. Also subscribe to our YouTube, and also Macro and Cheese. So I'm just kind of scanning these. Yeah, I mean, I met Miss Nina 4 times, and I just, you know, the the second time I met her, I was standing next to her husband, and I was waiting for her to sign some autographs, and she she was signing, and I said to her husband, you know what? I may be a heathen, but your wife takes my ass to church, and he lost it. Like, he lost it. He was cracking up so hard, I thought he was going to cry. And then a month ago, I put it I commented on Nita's page. I put something like that, and she goes, well, I'm a hell-raising Christian, so we got that going for us. Dude, look, if Nina, like, okay, if Miss Nina were VP, she would go to a debate with Mike Pence. Oh my God, best thing ever. Like, best thing ever. I could just picture did I stutter? Like, I can, oh my God, I just got goosebumps. That would be incredible. Yeah, Betty, I was going to bring that up. Absolutely. So a lot of people don't know this who weren't at the convention, but, you know, we saw it all go down. Basically, each candidate was able to pick 2 people who they wanted to come on stage and formally give them their delegate. So one of Bernie's was Miss Nina. She was scheduled to go on stage and speak, and when she was about to take the stage, the DNC people told her, unless you state in your speech you will be endorsing Hillary Clinton, we will not allow you to speak. They said this to a woman of color who is a Democratic senator who represents, and they told her, you cannot talk unless you formally endorse Hillary Clinton. Now, at this point, mind you, this was a day or 2 in. Bernie was still there. We were still going. Delegates had not been counted. This was not over at all. And they straight up told her, no. She came out, and she's just like, they wouldn't let me talk on stage. Like, this is, they want to say they're not racist and they're not sexist. And I mean, okay, but Hillary had her people speak. Oh, guess what? One of them was Liz Warren. And if you watch the video, you'll hear a Bernie delegate right down front say, we trusted you, right when she came out. And it's very audible. So yeah, they did not even let Miss Nina speak. And you know what? It's crazy because Nina even used to be part of the DNC a few years back until she realized how shady they were, and she left and joined Bernie. So she did a Tulsi too. People don't talk about that. But she left the DNC as well, and she voted for Jill Stein. So no, she's not, she's a Dem, but she's the right kind of Dem because she holds their asses accountable. She does not stray from, well, Dems are better than Republicans. Fuck that. She holds them all accountable, all of them. And so yeah, they legit did that to her. Then if you guys go to Twitter and you see black donuts, you know, they're all the Shill supporters and all that shit, you know, the resistors, they all have those brownish black donuts. Well, that's a racist smear against Nina. What happened was she went to deliver a petition that thousands of us signed about the unfair treatment the DNC was giving us. She brought it there. She announced on social media, she was going to bring it there. They padlocked the doors during business hours. And she went up, she gave this strong ass speech on the steps, and she was like, we're going to overcome this. They can't do this. She has a stack of signatures in a petition. She goes to open the door. They locked it. Like I said, middle of the day, business hours. Did not matter. They would not let her in. This is her own party, and she was a senator. Doesn't matter. Now, the reason where the donuts fits in is that Hillary shills thought it would be cute if they lined up donuts on tables so that when everybody got there to turn in the petitions, they could have donuts. So now what they do is they freaking use chocolate donuts to symbolize them not letting a Black woman come in and talk to them. That's what it symbolizes. And they think it's hilarious. They troll Nina something fierce. They are so racist. It's crazy. They're just, oh my God. The screenshots we have from anti-Semitic, racist, you know, it's just gross. But yeah, so they did that to her twice. So I think that does nothing but just fuels her even more to stand up for Bernie. Because, I mean, she's being told she can't support someone. She's being told she has to, like they told us all the time, fall in line. And the worst thing you could do to someone who is strong-minded and independent is order them to do something. That's the worst thing, because if you tell me I need to do something or I have to do something, I'm going to do the opposite. I can pretty much bet on it. All you're doing is making me that much more certain I'm going to go against you. I'm stubborn as fuck, and a lot of people are. Yes, I did see that. Rob stated that Warren has only 49% positive approval in her own state. And that's true. I know I have a family in Mass, and they're not all fans. I can tell you that much. It's interesting when you see people from their own states and how they react. And then I think of Bernie, and I'm like, okay, so dude's been there for decades. He still gets 94% of the vote. I mean, I went to Vermont for Bernie's birthday party in September. I had my Bernie buttons on and a birdie dress and stuff. People were literally coming up and hugging me. Oh, you like Bernie? Where are you from? That's how they are there. They freaking love him. Like, he is their family. I was at the farmer's market. They have a beautiful farmer's market in Burlington with like over 200 stands of fresh fruits and vegetables. The whole town is like that. Even their food trucks are like all organic, all farm to table. So anyway, so I'm there and I'm getting a bouquet for First Lady Jane for Bernie's birthday party. And all of a sudden the guy's wrapping my flowers and he goes, "Oh, hi, Senator Sanders. How are you today?" And I turn around and Bernie's like right there. And people are just like, "Hey, Senator Sanders." Like, they all call him Senator Sanders. It's really cute. And he's like, "How you doing, Jim? Hey, Bob." Like, they all know each other. It's amazing. And I was having, I had nurses come up to me and say, "Hey, do you know that that Bernie comes out and he protests with us when we're trying to negotiate for higher wages or for better health care or things like this?" I had teachers come up to me and say, "Hey, he protests with us." I had a guy who worked at a rehab clinic, a rehab facility, and they focus mostly on opioids. And he said, "Bernie he has had our back since day one." I mean, it was, I've never seen someone so loved and so admired. It was incredible. Yeah, Rob, I was talking about that earlier. It's pretty gross. Oh yes, yeah, you're in Vermont. Oh, that's the thing. Like people were just like, they just love him. It was so like I kept getting emotional. It was just, it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. Um, but yeah, I mean, so I'm totally getting off topic. So anyway, yeah, this was my 2-year anniversary show. So anyway, it's cool now that he's running again and I get to connect with people this time. And I get to discuss things about the campaign with people this time and actually have an audience. Yes, I had Stephen Smith on. He's great. I love him. He's awesome. Dylan, do you work for his campaign? I thought he was excellent. I really liked him. I plan to ask him back before the primaries. Yeah, that, Crystal, that's the thing. He really is. And yeah, I can't blue no matter who. That when you say you're blue no matter who, you are literally telling the DNC, continue taking big money, continue cheating, do whatever you want. You have my vote. Period. That's what you're saying. So, oh, okay, cool. Good job, Dylan. Yeah, tell him I said hi. He's awesome. Yeah, so now, I've had over 120 candidates. I had Lee Carter last night, who is a badass, so intelligent, veteran. He's a socialist. He told another rep to eat his whole ass on Twitter, even though he's an elected official. He's just fucking awesome. So we had a great chat. So yeah, I mean, I've just learned so much, and I've met so many beautiful people, and I've traveled all across the East Coast, covering events. I've seen Bernie 12 times, 12 rallies and a town hall and his birthday party. So I get to do like so many incredible things, and I don't deserve it, but I'm forever fortunate that I get to. And it's a lot of it too is because you guys actually watch me. So I actually still get candidates on the show. I can actually still say, no, people watch me. Because if, one of the selling points when you get someone on the show is to be like, I typically get X amount of views or X amount of shares. And if you have like one viewer, it's not going to look good if you ask someone to come on, especially some of the bigger names I get. I'm like, I have like templates of like things I say, like, if I invite a certain candidate on, I'll be like, I've had so-and-so on because they're like in their state, or I'll scan their page and be like, oh, they like so-and-so. I'll tell them I had them on. And so I kind of, I'm maybe a wee bit manipulative, or just a smart business person. I don't know. I'm good at selling myself, I guess. Not that way, but I love you too, Jenna. Dylan, has Stephen endorsed Bernie? I hope. I can kind of bet he won't endorse Pete, but hopefully he endorses Bernie. Oh, thank you so much, Crystal. I'm really hard on myself, you guys. You have no idea. Like I beat myself up about everything. I know I get on and I have this like free spirit, No. I won't even watch my shows back because I'm just like, oh God, I said that was stupid and stuff like that. Well, tell him, Dylan, tell him I said he needs to endorse Bernie because not only is it the right thing to do, but it's also going to get him like tons of volunteers and even more votes and stuff like that. Strategically, it's important too. So anyway, I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are just my family and incredible. So I have, you know, that awesome debate coming up. I know some people just joined, so I'm having all three Dems running against Nancy Pelosi are going to be coming on my show for a debate. I have asked Pelosi as well. That'd be kind of cool, but somehow I doubt she'll join us. But yes, one of the three people debating will be Shahid Buttar. So, and I know like he has a really huge following. He's been endorsed by Brother Cornell and Sean King and like, and he's endorsed by Bernie, or he's endorsed Bernie personally. So it's going to be really, like, this is why it's difficult to do debates. This is why. Because I'm like, I have to remain, you know, I have to pretend, well, I have to convince myself not to like someone more than another person before I go into it. And it's hard because I'm researching them and I'm like, oh, I really like this about this person, but I really like this about this person. And I'm like, stop with the opinions. Just look, let's just, you know, write down, forget about opinions for once, write down the questions. It's going to be interesting. It's, so 3 people at once. I've had 2 at once several times. That, not like that. Thanks, Cindy. That's awesome. Yeah, you know, some people, I actually had someone on the team ask if I would prefer to do a podcast. And I said, honestly, not really, because I don't necessarily like being on camera, but at the same time, I do find it more personable. I like, you know, I like being able to be live. I like seeing your comments and interacting with you and things like that. So I think at least for now, I'm going to keep it video. Because I know you guys like to see the guests too. Like, you know, we're creatures of idiosyncrasies, and you can tell a lot about people by, are they nervous? Are they jittery? Are, you know, what are their facial expressions? So I think I'm just going to keep it like this for now and just keep doing video. Mike Gravel made it monetarily. He did not make it as far as poll-wise. Unfortunately, you need to have over, I believe they actually bumped it to over 2% in the polls. It was 1%. You think, oh my God, freaking 2%, he can get that. Well, here's the problem. They don't have him on 99% of the freaking surveys, on 99% of the polls. His name is never there. So it's, I mean, they just don't want him there because they know he has nothing to lose. He's an 89-year-old man who is ready to kick some ass. He doesn't give a shit. And that terrifies them. And yeah, it's disappointing as hell. It really is. Hey, so there's the debate on Tuesday. And then there's another debate in August, and that one, you need 130,000 donations, so it doubles, and you have to go, I believe it's above 3%, but in any case, only 5 candidates out of out of 25. Only 5 are qualifying right now. So that, and yeah, Bernie is one of them, of course, because we killed that shit in the first day. I'm not worried about us. But yeah, only 5. Tulsi's not there. She still has a way to go. I think it's Bernie, Biden, Kamala, and Bernie, Biden, Buttigieg, and Warren. Those are the 5. So basically the top 5 polling. Oh, that's awesome, Dylan. Good for him. That's awesome. Unions and campaigns are a good thing. Bernie was the first president in history to ever do it. Warren copied the next month, of course. I know, 25, are you kidding me? A couple of the candidates didn't make the first or second debate. So it's time for you to drop out. That's absurd. Why are you still staying in? Obviously, to be a spoiler. But Gravel actually started a petition to get what the fuck's this? Delaney to drop out. And the hashtag is trending, drop out Delaney. It's so funny. He's like trolling him every day on Twitter. He's like, sign this petition, because he thinks, and I'm sure there's credence to it, that Delaney took Gravel's spot, because Delaney is the least high polling and the least amount of money. So he feels like if he drops out, he can take his place in August. So I don't know. He keeps bullying him to drop out, and it's funny as hell. But Delaney and Hickelhopper have made it their passion to go after Bernie's platform and to go after socialism. So it's funny because it is backfiring miserably in person and not. So yeah, Delaney made the no, it was, all those dudes look the same. Oh my God. Okay, so take out Cory Booker, Biden, and Bernie. All the dudes look the same. Every freaking one of them. Every one of them. I can't tell them apart. So it's getting really hard to talk about these assholes because I don't freaking know. No, I said Hickelhopper, but I'm totally stealing that, Rob. Nippelhopper. Yes. Dude. Awesome band name, Nippelhopper. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Medicare for all. Healthcare is a human right. So thank you guys so much for watching. I have some awesome candidates coming up. I am getting actually a lot of Democratic Socialist candidates who are lining up to come on, which is awesome because there weren't that many around last year. So now I guess they're more comfortable with the term, or what have you. So it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. And then I have the debate as well. I'll be covering an event as well next month. So yeah, lots of good things coming up. But thank you guys so much for watching. These 2 years have changed my life, hands down. It's been crazy. I would write in my journal, I never spoke out publicly. I just wasn't like that. I don't know, and I refuse to watch my old shows. I refuse to, because I'm such a nervous wreck. It sounds like I'm crying because my voice is quivering so much. But it feels good when people tell me how much I've grown, and how much more comfortable I've been in front of the camera. So I feel like I've evolved and I've learned so much. Um, so I'm very fortunate to be able to do this and to have you guys, because you're freaking awesome and you make me think and you teach me and you make me laugh. And yeah, hell yeah, we're the Bernie Bunch. You bet your bippy, as my dad says. My 78-year-old dad, you bet your bippy. Oh, thank you, Susan. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. So thanks for spending your Friday night with me. You guys are just so incredible. So until next time, have a great weekend and much love.